40 yards, long and very difficult to field. He also kicks extra points, field goals, and does the kicking off. In the backfield, the quarterback will be Arnold calling the signals, and he has some top runners behind him. Kelly Casen's the right halfback and does most of the power running up the middle and quick hitters. The play goes outside. Speedy Carl Smith will usually have the pigskin. Now, Smith's fast as any back we've seen the last couple of seasons and has an inert sense of finding the open holes. Defensively, 3 big linebackers in there. Laz Carroll, Lynn Young, and Ken Blevins. No relation to the coach, however. By the way, the JVs of the Johnson squad have 50 boys on their team. Now, speaking of the JV...
6'1", 175 pounds. At the guard slots, Don Gates, 5'10", 150 pounds, and Paula Aurelio, 5'5", 150 pounds. They're both guards. As we mentioned, they're rather light, but they do hit extremely well. The tackles for the Johnson Falcons, number 75, Mike Fields, a senior, 5'9", 195 pounds, and number 60, Steve Carra, Jr., 5'10", 180 pounds. The tight end, as we mentioned, number 84, Randy Gerard. He's only a junior, but he's 6'1", 225 pounds. He's the blocking end and does most of the kicking. The split end is Dennis Chang. He'll be wearing number 81, 5'11", 160 pounds. The quarterback, wearing number 17 this afternoon, is George Arnold, a senior, 5'10", 150 pounds. The 2 halfbacks, number 40, Kelly Casen, the power back, 5'9", 175 pounds and a junior, and Carl Smith, number 41, a senior at 5'9", 155 pounds. The fullback, wearing number 33, is Bill Pope, a junior, 5'9", 180 pounds.
Forms the teams down there. The homestanding Yamato squad is wearing their white uniforms with green trim, while the visiting team from Johnson has got the orange jerseys on with the white pants and the white helmets. Last week, Johnson really pulled what everyone called was an upset when they downed last year's defending champions, Yohai. However, many people feel it wasn't an upset at all, that Johnson really has the strongest squad in the league. And so they're saying it's going to be between Johnson and Chofu this year. However, we shall see. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, we're pausing for just a moment for our national anthem prior to the start of the ball game today. Right now, and although the teams are all standing up, as well as the fans, and many, many colorful umbrellas very much evident out here today. A sprinkling of color across the way with the umbrellas. Let's give you a rundown of the referees and the umpires and the other officials today. Umpire will be Gene Warner out there on the field. The referee will be George Nigerian. The head linesman, Harry Toth, and the field judge, George Trailer.
Now, Bill, while we have a chance, let's pick up the starting lineup of the Yamato Warriors. Starting at center will be number 52, Chris Corbin, only a sophomore, 5'7", 150 pounds. The guards for the Warriors, number 61 in there is Jerry Erb, and number 66, Ken Miyazono. The tackles will be number 60, Dave Duell. He's a senior, 5'11", 150 pounds. And Tom Hahn, number 71, 5'8", 200 pounds, and a senior. The ends, number 86 is Tom Ewers. Ewers is a senior, 6 foot, 160 pounds. And Bob Evans, number 88. Evans also a senior, 6'2", 170 pounds. The quarterback will be wearing number 13. That's Vern Mitsumori, a senior, 5'7", 150 pounds. The halfbacks, number 21, Roy Glantz, and number 40, Terry Muldoon. And the fullback is Bob Stark. He'll be wearing number 41 this afternoon. And, Bill, the captains are going out towards the middle of the field.
We see that, and we'll be going out there very shortly to join them for the flip of the coin. In case you're just joining us, we're over at Tachikawa East, the Marauders football field over here, because normally it's Yamato's home game, or at the present time. However, Yamato's field is not being utilized for home games by the squad, and so that they'll be using the Tachikawa Marauder field throughout their season as their home field. Right now, let's go on down to the field right now. I believe the officials are being introduced to the captains. Let's go down and see if we can pick that up.
Your umpire, Mr. Warren. And your head linesman, Mr. Trough. All right, Peters, you're the visiting team captain. You will have the option of the toss. Call it while it is in the air. Heads, tails it is. Tails it is. All right, you fellows win the toss. Stark, you're the speaking captain. Would you like to kick, receive, or defend a goal? All right, you will kick. All right. Which goal would you like to defend? You would like to defend this goal up here. All right, well, you fellows turn around with your backs to the goals that you're going to defend. All right, you are going to kick the ball. Okay? And you fellows here will receive the ball right here. Shake hands, fellas. Let's have a good football game.
All right, there it is. Yamato High School will kick off to Johnson, who will receive. Yamato will be defending the goal to our right, which would be on the right-hand side of your radio dial. Johnson will be starting off from the left on the left-hand side of your radio dial. As you look at your radio, the near side would be the bottom of the dial, the far side, the top of the dial. Bill?
And that's a lot of radio dial, no matter how you look at it, right? In case actually the season only 1 week old, last week's results found Johnson defeating Yohai 13-0, Chofu over Yamato 52-6, and Zama downing Neramos 18-6. ASIJ had a bye. So here we are now in the second week of the season, and we are at Yamato with Johnson playing Yamato. Also today, Neramos is at ASIJ, Chofu is at Zama, and Yohai has the bye today. And we're just about ready for the kickoff. Johnson will be kicking off, or correction, Yamato will be kicking off to Johnson from right to left. And here again, let me say that the weather is very much a factor in today's ball game. That field down there is like a sponge. It's soggy. It's been raining throughout the day here at Sachikawa. And I should imagine that you'll see a lot of running and a lot of dirty numbers out there before this day is finished. Right now, there seems to be some indecision about on the kickoff. I think they're calling for a kicking tee out there, Bill. They can't seem to find all their equipment today. And it's no wonder, it's probably underwater out there somewhere.
Here comes the tee out on the field now, Bill, and it's going to be Bob Mays, who's a reserve quarterback, 6 foot tall, 165-pound junior, who will be kicking off for the Yamato Warriors. And back deep to receive for the Johnson Falcons, we see Carl Smith, number 41, number 21, Jim Peters, and number 81, Dennis Chang, who's the split end. Those are the deep men for the Johnson Falcons. It's just one of those days, Bill. It seems like a repetition of last year when every game we did for the first 6 weeks of the season, it poured.
They were a bad omen for a lot of these football teams last year, Bill. Let's hope that this isn't really an example of what's going to take place the rest of the year. We'll be here with FEN, our cavalcade of sports, each and every weekend, bringing you high school football at its very best. Now let's go to Bill for the kickoff.
All set, waiting for the official's whistle. Bob Mays ready to approach the ball, ready to kick off to the Johnson Falcons. Still waiting for that whistle. There it is, the approach, the kick. It's a short spinner, and it's taken over there by number 84. That's Randy Gerard, up narrow, and he's spilled right around the 40-yard line. Slammed down hard in there immediately.
It's a fumble out there, Bill. I think, yes, Yamato recovered the fumble on that ball.
Bill, it's there's no doubt about it that this wet, slippery field in football is really going to be a problem this afternoon. Tom Ewers was in there to fall on that fumble for the Yamato Warriors.
The ball's being spotted down, Bill, at the point of the fumble and recovery, and it's sitting right there on Johnson's 40-yard line where it's 1st and 10, and Johnson getting the first break, rather the first unlucky break of the ball game, as Yamato recovers that fumble. 1st and 10, Yamato.
Straight T formation for the Warriors. Vern Mitsumori calling the signals. On a long count now, Mitsumori on a delay, hands it off in there to Terry Muldoon, the halfback. Muldoon does not get up to the line of scrimmage. He's met before that point by number 80 of the Johnson Falcons in there to bring him down. That was Alex Pitts, who comes in from a defensive end position. There's a loss of 2 yards on the play, so make it 2nd down, 12 yards to go for the Yamato Warriors.
He tried to spin around his left ear with the ball that time, Bill, and here again the footing is rather treacherous out there. He spun off one would-be tackler, but finally got nailed for that 2-yard loss. 2nd down now at about 12.
Once again, straight T formation for the Yamato Warriors. The handoff this time goes to Bob Stark, the hard-charging fullback. He gets up across the line of scrimmage, picks up about 5 yards on the play before he's brought down in there by the whole front line of the Johnson Falcons, with Ken Blevins, the middle guard, leading the attack. Blevins puts the stop on Bob Stark. There's a gain of about 5 on the play, so let's call it 3rd down and 8 yards to go for the Yamato Warriors, who are trying to get an attack going in this muddy, muddy field, and it's going to be real muddy before the day is over, right between the 40-yard lines. Chris Corbin leads the Warriors out of the huddle. In a slot T, dropping back to pass now is Mitsumori, looking, throwing out into the flats. The pass is complete over there to Bob Stark, the fullback, and he's brought down immediately by Dennis Chang, who plays a defensive back position for the Johnson Falcons. But there's a big gain on the play, a gain of about 5 yards on the play, and now let's call it 4th down and about 2 yards to go for the Yamato Warriors.
Bill, that was a beautiful pass pattern. He had him wide open. He dropped right straight back with that ball, about 5 to 10 yards back, and he just sailed it in a high arch, and he was there all by himself for the gain. 4th down, however, the ball resting on, let's make it about the 31-yard line.
The Warriors going for it. Once again, the slot T formation glances the slot back this time, right behind the tackle. Quarterback sneak as Mitsumori goes straight ahead. Loose ball on the play, and let's see who comes up with it. It's recovered in there by Yamato, it appears. Yamato recovers their own fumble, and now the officials are going to bring out the chain and call for a measurement. No, they say no, it is a first down. Yamato Warriors, 1st and 10, and it's on about their own 28.
Well, they get the drive going, Bill. They recover that fumble by Johnson on Johnson's 40-yard line. They've moved out for about 11 yards now. They have another 1st and 10 on the, let's make it the 28-yard line of Johnson, and Yamato's trying to move that ball and score here in the first period.
Once again, Chris Corbin up over the ball. The quarterback, Mitsumori, rolling out. He's snowed in there and really slammed down hard just as he gives the ball off to his trailing halfback, Terry Muldoon. Muldoon gets up about to the line of scrimmage, maybe a couple of yards, before Len Young drops him. I'll tell you, Mitsumori got slammed just as he handed the ball off. A beautiful play in there by Mitsumori, smart-thinking quarterback.
They were red dogging on the play, Bill. They're coming after that quarterback on that one, hoping to grab him back here and throw him back for a loss. But he still managed to pick up 3. It's 2nd down and 7. The ball about the 25-yard line.
And already those uniforms are starting to get muddied. Slot T once again. Loose ball on the exchange. Mitsumori, it appears, fell on his own fumble. The ball is definitely slippery out there, so that's going to be just about a loss of a down. They didn't pick up anything on it at all, Bill.
No, it's right at the line of scrimmage, Bill. The ball's very slippery out there. The referee, they're trying to keep the balls dry, but it's going to be almost an impossibility the way this rain's falling out here today. A slow, steady drizzle falling here at Tachikawa. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 8 yards to go. For Yamato, they have the ball. They're on Johnson's 28, make it the 25-yard line.
Chris Corbin goes out at the center position. Ernie Solis is now in centering the ball. The quarterback, Mitsumori, dropping back to pass, looking for a receiver, can't find one. Now he gets the ball away, and he's creamed just as he does, and it's broken up down there. In there to break the pass up for the Johnson Falcons was Jim Peters, number 21. The intended receivers, Bob Stark and Roy Glantz, but it goes for naught, bringing up a 4th down and about 6 situation.
Well, Bill, that quarterback had a lot of pressure put on him that time, and just as he turned loose the ball, he was hit. And the ball went in a high arcing pass. About 3 of those big orange jerseys out there at Johnson had a shot at it. But just as Peters went to grab the ball, he was hit at the same time, and so it goes to incompletion. 4th down. And about, let's make it 8 yards to go.
And they're going to go for it on their own 25. There's a mix-up on the exchange, and being thrown for a big loss is the quarterback, Vern Mitsumori, and Terry Muldoon, the halfback, charging in there to bring him down. Big number 86, Bob Goodman, the defensive end of the Johnson Falcons, and the middle guard, Ken Blevins. They both came charging through there. There was a mix-up on the Yamato Warriors signals as Mitsumori and Muldoon got crossed up on their signals. And so now it's 1st and 10 for the Johnson Falcons. They have the ball. It's resting on about their own 28-yard line. Calling the signals, George Arnold of the Warriors, of the Falcons. Let's check it. Arnold with the ball. Hands it off this time. It goes to 41, Carl Smith. Smith up over the 30-yard line to about the 37 before he's spilled there by Joe Rusin and Rick Mayberry defensively for the Yamato Warriors.
Think of about 5 yards on that play, Bill, as he took the ball, slammed over right tackle, shook off one would-be tackler, and was finally brought down after a 5-yard gain. It's a 2nd down now. The ball on about the 33-yard line of Johnson.
Quick count, straight T. The handoff goes straight ahead this time to Kelly Case, and he plows off tackle and picks up about another 4 or 5 yards. And it might be good enough for a 1st down. It's going to be awfully close, Bill.
Right, that ball, here again, we'll have to explain to the fans, Bill, because of the rain out here, there are literally no yard markers on the field. Literally no yard markers whatsoever out there, so we're more or less having to guess at the location of the ball. Right now, we put the ball down at about the 39-yard line. They're coming out for the measurement, the chain's being brought out by the head linesman. We're checking it to see if it is a 1st down. It appears to be, Bill. It is. It's a 1st down for Johnson. They got it. So that's Johnson's first down of the ball game.
Kelly Kaysen slashing off tackle, carrying the mail for the Falcons, picking up their initial 1st down of the game. Also in the backfield for the Johnson Falcons, Carl Smith at a halfback slot. The quarterback is George Arnold. Kaysen, as we mentioned, a halfback. And Billy Pope, number 33, is the fullback. Straight T formation, quick count. Arnold, a handoff to Kaysen. Kaysen slashing off left tackle. Gets about a yard on the play, and he's dumped in there by the whole front line of the Yamato Warriors. Leading the attack was, let's check it now, Dave Duell, number 60, a 155-pound tackle of the Warriors.
pick of about 2 yards on the play, Bill, as they really clotheslined him as he came up to that line that time. Ball resting down about the 40-yard line. 2nd down 8.
Straight T formation. The handoff this time goes off tackle again to Carl Smith. Smith plows straight up the middle and gets about 5 yards on the play. And the officials call timeout. They're going to bring in the chain and measure it again. It's awfully close to a first down, Bill. As we mentioned earlier when we were doing the warm-up, the Falcons rely on these off-tackle slashing runs, and it's proved to be of great advantage to them thus far in the game. Both of their first downs have come on the off-tackle runs.
Well, we said there's going to be quite a bit of running out of here, and we can expect Johnson to run quite a bit because of the ground. However, right off the bat, Yamato went to the air to pick up their first down of the ball game on their last series of downs. Right now, the ball being brought back up, Bill. I didn't see a flag on the field. It looks like it is going to be a penalty. They're marching off 5 yards, so the ball's being brought back. A loss of 5 yards on the penalty. Offsides being called against Johnson.
Offside penalty.
Well, that's rather novel, Bill, because they started to bring the chain in to measure for a first down before the penalty. So now it's going to be 2nd down and about 13 yards to go. Straight T formation. Chang is the split end. With the ball, Arnold on a delay, loose ball right in the middle. It's recovered by the Yamato Warriors. In there to fall on that ball was number 79 of the Warriors. That's Stan Avens, only a sophomore, who was in there at a defensive tackle position. The handoff was intended for Carl Smith, number 41, and the slippery ball just went right through Smith's hands. And just standing there, saying more or less, "Look what I found," was Avens of the Yamato Warriors.
Well, Bill, that's 4 fumbles in the game, 2 by each team. Unfortunately, though, Johnson's lost both of theirs. All right, 1st and 10, Yamato.
With the ball, the Warriors right now calling the signals is the quarterback. He hands it off to number 40 in there. Muldoon trying to sweep around the near side end. He picks up a couple of yards on the play, but he's brought down in there by number 21. Jim Peters also in on the play defensively for the Johnson Falcons was Bob Goodman, the defensive end, number 86.
Bill, the referee's spotting the ball down now, and it appears as though only about a foot was made on the play. Here again, these yard markers completely obscured. We can't tell where the ball is located. We have to more or less guess. Let's call it 2nd down, 10 to go. Yamato in possession of that ball, the ball resting on about the 38-yard line of Johnson.
The slot man split wide out to the right this time. The pitch out goes to Terry Muldoon. He tries to sweep and he's clobbered. In there to bring him down was Ladge Carroll, who came crashing through from his defensive end position, shot the gap on a beautiful Red Dog, and really slammed Muldoon down hard. There's a loss of about 5 yards on that play, Bill, making it 3rd down and 15 for the Yamato Warriors. Tough defensive work in there by the Johnson Falcons, and the uniforms are really getting muddied up. Ernie Solis, the center, leads the Yamato Warriors out of the huddle. Mitsumori calling the signals. The slot man off to the left. The handoff goes straight up the middle this time to Bob Stark, the fullback. He's piled up at the line of scrimmage. The whole front line of the Johnson Falcons in there, led by Wally Long, the left tackle, and Ken Blevins, the middle guard of the Johnson Falcons. No gain on the play. 4th down and 15 to go for the Yamato Warriors, who just can't seem to get past that front line of the Johnson Falcons.
In case you're just joining us, we're bringing you the Johnson Falcon Yamato Warrior ball game here in the FEN Parade of Sports. We're in the first quarter of play, no score, about 5 minutes, 11 seconds unofficially left on the clock in the first quarter.
Mitsumori dropping back to pass. He smeared just as he slips back in the pocket. Charging through there for the Johnson Falcons was number 65. He was the first man that was in on him. Dick Petrosky, a 6'1", 212-pound tackle. Also in there was number 83, Ladge Carroll once again, the defensive end. So it's 1st and 10 for the Johnson Falcons. And that ball appears to be resting on about the 49, Bill, as near as we can determine.
Right, according to the field and what we can see out there, by near reckoning, it's right at midfield at the present time.
Chang is the split end to the near side. Arnold barks the signals, drops back to pass, throws out to Chang, complete at the 40, and he's going to be brought down right around the 40 by number 24, Joe Rusin of the Yamato Warriors. The pass should be good for a first down, Bill. It's going to be awfully close, as the ball did not go out of bounds, but it should be another first down for the Johnson Falcons.
It's being spotted right about the 40, and the referee's going to take a long look at this one, Bill. He's looking across at the field judge. No, that's about 2 foot short, so let's make it 2nd down and 1 to go.
Dave Ray, the center, leads the Falcons out of the huddle once again. Chang split out to the near side. The handoff this time goes to Kaysen. Kaysen charges for the first down off tackle. And there's a loose ball on the play, but why it appears, but Kaysen has his own fumble. Bill, it seems that these boys are letting the ball go just a little bit too soon, a little before the whistle. It may be the slipperiness of the ball. It may be that they're just a little over-anxious.
Well, that's like trying to handle an ice cube out there, Bill. That ball is awfully slick. Of course, the officials are trying to do a good job, as they normally do on any of these games, of keeping that ball dry. All right, first attempt for Johnson, the ball on the Yamato's 38-yard line.
Arnold on a quick count gives it straight up the middle to Bill Pope, the fullback. He crashes for about 2 yards before Stan Avens and Clay Ono put the stop on him. Ono is a big one, 5'7", 200-pound junior of the Yamato Warriors. Let's call it a gain of 3 yards on the play. So it's going to be 2nd down and 7 as the Yamato Warriors take timeout with no score in the ball game.
We're still in the first quarter of play, and as we said earlier, but in case you're just joining us, Yamato will be playing all their home games over Tachikawa's Marauder Field. That's at Tachikawa East, because Yamato's stands earlier in the season was found to be unsafe for spectators. So therefore, the Yamato Warriors have moved their home field over to the Marauder Field here at Tachikawa. We're here in the first quarter of play, about 4 minutes unofficially on the clock, time back in.
Arnold, the quarterback, takes a quick count, hands it off to Carl Smith. Smith goes slashing off right tackle, drives right up the field. He's got some good blocking up front from Don Gates and Paul Aurelio, and he has got the first down picked up in some despair, it looks like, Bill, from here.
Looks like a good 10-yard run, Bill. The ball's being spotted down about the 25-yard line of Yamato. If that's the case, it is enough for the first down.
In there to make the tackle for the Warriors, leading the charge was Dave Duell and Bob Stark, the fullback, who also plays defense. 1st and 10 now for the Falcons. Split out Chang wide to the near side. Arnold calling the signals. Quick count again. Straight up the middle it goes to Bill Pope. Pope slashing off tackle, picks up maybe a yard in the play before Rick Mayberry is in there to bring him down for the Yamato Warriors. Mayberry leading the front line charge of the Warriors. A gain of 3 yards on the play, let's call it. 2nd down, 7 to go. Now coming into the ball game defensively for the Warriors, number 89, Fred DeLugas, a junior, 5'10", 145 pounds. Coming out of the ball game is Clay Ono. Once again, we split out Chang, this time to the far side. Dropping back to passes, Arnold looking for Chang. He throws incomplete. The pass was underthrown. Chang dove for it. Over there to cover on the play was Bob Mays and Vern Mitsumori of the Yamato Warriors. The pass was thrown short, however, by Arnold as he's having a tough time getting a grip on the ball. That makes it 3rd down and 7 for the Falcons.
You can tell that ball is slippery out there, Bill. When Arnold let it go of the ball, it comes flying through the air like a pelican with a broken wing. It was just flip-flopping all over the place. 3rd down, 1 to go. Johnson has the ball in Yamato's 21-yard line. No score, first quarter.
Again, split Chang out to the far side. The handoff goes straight up the middle to Carl Smith, slashing off right tackle. He picks up about 3 yards on the play. Terry Muldoon is there to stop him for the Yamato Warriors. Also in on that play for the Warriors was Roy Glantz, number 21. These are the guys who are coming up from that linebacker slot to make the stop. A gain of 5 yards on the play. It'll be 4th down and 2 yards to go for the Johnson Falcons. And no doubt in anybody's mind that they're going to go for it. The ball's inside the 20, resting on about the 16-yard line of the Yamato Warriors. The Falcons' 4th and 2 situation. Arnold barks the signals. Straight ahead, a beautiful run, almost sprung loose is Kelly Kaysen. He's got the first down. Now there's a loose ball, but flags on the field. There's a loose ball. The ball is recovered by the Falcons, but there's a flag on the near side sidelines. It may be offsides against the Johnson Falcons. In there to make the stop was Joe Rusin and Roy Glantz of the Yamato Warriors.
Well, I couldn't tell from the referee's indication, Bill, whether or not that ball was recovered before or after the whistle. Let's see what happens. They're bringing the ball back up the field. The flag is down. Indication was offside Johnson. It looks like the penalty is going to be assessed. The fumble will not stay. 5 yards being walked off against Johnson, the ball being spotted down. That's going to bring up a 3rd down or a 4th down and about 6. The ball rushing now once again on the 21-yard line.
So now let's see what the Falcons and George Arnold do. Will they go to the air? Chang splits out wide to the far side. Timeout is called, and Bill, they might just be going to try a field goal as the Falcons have called timeout, and they're sending in, it seems like, a whole squad of substitutions, although I don't see number 84, Randy Gerard, or a kicking tee in there. Gerard is now going out of the ball game. Here comes the tee. It looks like Gerard is going to try a field goal. Now, this boot will come from about the 26-yard line, Bill. So that's a 36-yard kick for a field goal if he makes it.
True, because the here again, unlike college or high school ball, pro ball has a goal line and the goal post right on the goal line.
Well, this kick is going to come on a slight angle from the near side of the field. It's going to come from about the 26-yard line. Gerard to try the field goal. The pass is thrown over Gerard's head. Now he picks it up. He loses the ball. He's got the ball. He tries to throw a pass. It's incomplete out in the flats. Intended for number 24 of the Johnson Falcons. That was Len Young, a linebacker in there. So the whole attempt goes for naught. The center apparently centered it over George Arnold's head. But it looks like a flag, illegal procedure down on the play, Bill.
Well, a more broken play I've never seen before in my life. That ball went about 15 yards behind the intended receiver back there, who was getting ready for the field goal attempt, and was finally spotted down. Now the ball is brought back to the original line of scrimmage once again. And let's see who the penalty is going to be assessed against. No, it's going to be given a first down. First down. The ball goes over to Yamato. It'll be 1st and 10, Yamato at the 21-yard line.
Well, Yamato now has the ball deep in their own territory. It's just about on the 20-yard line. Let's call it the 21 for all practical purposes. And Vern Mitsumori is calling the signals. On an exchange, hands it off to Roy Glantz. Glantz goes slashing up the middle. Check it, it was Muldoon that got the ball. He went for about 9 yards before he was spilled in there by Bob Goodman, the defensive end of the Johnson Falcons. Also in on the attack was Dick Petrosky defensively for the Falcons. Second down now, about 2 yards to go as the Yamato Warriors are trying to move that ball out of their own backyard. The ball now resting on about the 29-yard line where it's 2nd and 2 as Chris Corbin leads the Warriors out of the huddle. Mitsumori's the quarterback. Barking the signals, long count. Straight ahead, the handoff this time goes to Bob Stark. Stark crashes off left tackle. Picks up maybe a yard on the play, but the whole front line of the Johnson Falcons are in there to stop him, led by Wayne Anderson and Wally Long.
Referee calling timeout now, Bill. They want to take a closer look and then bring the chains across the field.
As we've said before, it's awfully difficult to tell from the press box because the rain has completely washed out the chalk lines on the field and the yard markers. So it's, even for the officials, they're going to have to bring the chain out quite a bit more than usual in this game.
They just placed it down, Bill. They got about 1 foot to go. So it's 3rd down, about a foot to go for Yamato. They have the ball. No score in the ball game. A little over 1 minute to play in the first quarter unofficially.
Roy Glantz, the slot back, is flanked out wide to the near side this time. Vern Mitsumori barking the signals for the Warriors. Straight ahead, quarterback sneak. Mitsumori's got the first down in some despair. Mike Adams, Dick Petrosky, and Wally Long, along with Ken Blevins, the whole front line of the Falcons, putting the stop on Mitsumori, but he did pick up the first down for the Warriors.
Well, that'll be the Warriors' second first down of the ball game, Bill. And they're driving now. They've got the ball. 1st and 10 on their own 30, make it the 31-yard line as far as we can figure from here. About 59 seconds to play here in the first quarter of play. From Marauder Field at Tachikawa Air Base, Yamato's home field, in the second week of football action in the Conto Plains area.
Straight T formation. This time Mitsumori with the ball. A mess up on the signals. And it's handed off to Stark in the backfield. He's thrown for about a 4-yard loss, however. Coming through for the Johnson Falcons defensively was Wally Long, a 185-pound tackle, who put the stop on Stark. There's a loss of about 2 yards in the play, making it 2nd down, 12 to go for the Yamato Warriors.
That footing is awfully slippery out there, and now the field is being just a little bit chewed up, and so we'll be seeing mud before this afternoon's over with.
Once again, Mitsumori barking out the signals. Tries to find someone to hand off to. He can, and he's snowed immediately. Crashing through there was Wally Long and Rick Petrosky, the 2 defensive tackles of the Johnson Falcons. About 9 seconds left to go here in the first quarter of play. I doubt if we'll get another playoff. This is unofficial by the scoreboard clock. As we mentioned earlier, this is not the unofficial clock. There's the gun, ending the first quarter of play with the score Johnson nothing and Yamato nothing.
Surprisingly enough, Bill, that scoreboard clock was almost right with the head linesman down there who keeps the official time on the field. So that's the end of the first quarter. No score in the ball game, and when play resumes, it will be Yamato's ball, 3rd down, and about 13 or 14 yards to go for the first down.
You're listening to the high school game of the week on the Far East Network. 8:10 on your dial in Tokyo. The Johnson Falcons and Yamato Warriors game today with no score in the ball game. The second quarter just about to get underway. This is Army Specialist Bill White to bring you the first half of the game, along with Air Force Sergeant Bill Miller and Air Force Sergeant Bill Asher, who'll be doing the play-by-play on the second half of today's ball game.
Well, Bill, that mud's starting to take its toll already because those white uniforms of Yamato's out there are becoming very, very nasty.
Vern Mitsumori up over his center, Chris Corbin. On a long count, he can't hand it off again, and he's snowed under. In there leading the attack, Wayne Anderson of the Johnson Falcons, the first man to hit him, as the Falcons really came in hard this time on Mitsumori, and the Warriors went charging right through the line on a beautiful red dog. And there's a loss on the play of about 5 yards, Bill.
Yeah, we see a little red marker down there, Bill, and right now the referee is out there talking to the co-captain for Johnson, so evidently it's something coming up against Yamato. However, with the loss on the play of about 5 yards, I doubt seriously, unless it's a big long one, that Johnson's going to take it. They want that football back.
I think the call was illegal procedure as the Warriors had some motion in the backfield there, Bill. The penalty is declined, so it's a 4th down situation now for the Yamato Warriors. Check that, a 3rd down situation. 3rd down, and let's call it 16 yards to go. Now they've flipped the down markers to 4th down. 4th and 16 for the Yamato Warriors, and they're deep in their own territory. The ball is resting on about the 25-yard line, so they're going to have to punt, no question about that. Bob Stark dropping back into punt formation. Back to receive is Jim Peters of the Johnson Falcons. Peters can move if he gets that ball. There's the boot. It's partially blocked. Come crashing through there was Len Young. The ball is now fallen on over there about the 25-yard line by the Johnson Falcons. 1st down 10 for the Johnson Falcons on the 24-yard line of the Yamato Warriors. Len Young came crashing in there from his line.
On defense, that's speedster Jim Peters and Len Young, the 4 co-captains for Johnson. They're just about ready to go through the tossing of the coin ceremony, and we'll find out who's going to kick off, who will receive, and which goals they will be defending.
Right now, the officials are being introduced to the co-captains out in the center of the field. And it seems like some of the rain has slackened up just a bit out here, Bill. The drizzle is still coming down, however. And like I said earlier, you can never tell what kind of a factor the weather can be in a ball game such as this.
So gets across the 35 and up to the 36. A gain of about 1 yard in there across the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up a 4th down situation. Ken Blevins leading the tacklers for the Johnson Falcons. And I believe they'll go back into punt formation now. The ground very slippery. Pounced on by Wayne Anderson, but I think they're going to rule that his knee went down just about a foot back. He didn't quite get around the corner. Let's call it the line of scrimmage is where he finally came down. Make it 3rd and just about 14, or a short 14, a long 13. Intercepted by a Johnson man. Let's see if we can get the number. Dennis Chang. And so there is a break for the Johnson Falcons. That ball went awry, and it was Pitts. We finally got the numbers straight. They're very muddy out there. It's hard to see. Pitts came up with that interception. The Johnson Falcons will take over on the 28-yard line of the Narragansett Dragons.
Call right now is resting on about the Narragansett 15. But it seems like the official right now is talking to one of the Narragansett co-captains down there, so a penalty may be upcoming against Johnson. We'll have to wait and see what the call is.
Tim Kaczynski discussing it. It was a personal foul called against Johnson. That'll move the ball up 15 yards from the point of infraction. Let's see where they'll mark it down. Looks like it's going to put it just across the 20-yard line, around the 21. Up to the line of scrimmage. The quarterback will be George Arnold. T formation. You have Kaysen, Pope, and Johnson behind him. Dropping back for pass, shoots one out over the right. It's intercepted in there by Carl Kaysen on the 35 across the midfield stripe. Finally is drugged down as he gets across the 45. Just about the 45 is where they'll mark it down. Dennis Chang, who was one of the intended receivers out there for the Johnson crew, finally knocked him out of bounds with a little aid. And so another break in there for Narragansett. They'll take over on the Johnson 45, 1st and 10. And quite a different game from last week, Bill, when this same Narragansett crew bowed by a score of 42-0 to the Chofu Vikings.
Yes, Bill, this Narragansett team is fired up out here this afternoon. They're playing one whale of a ball game, and they're fighting Johnson out here, hammer and tong, tooth and nail. 1st and 10 Narragansett at the Johnson 45. They lead 6-0.
Shotgun formation. Deal back deep. Kaysen going in motion. Snap back. There's a pitch forward in there to Ozaki. He tries the right side, gets across the line about 4 yards. Finally brought down in there by Bob Goodman. Pick up of just about 4. Let's call it 2nd down. And about 6. A long 6 or a short 7. 9 minutes, 18 seconds to go in this first half of play. The Narragansett Dragons unexpectedly leading 6-0.
Bill, I just noticed Kaysen going off the field for Narragansett. His jersey is pretty well ripped up out there. He's been shirt-tailed a number of times on these tackles. And coming in for him is Jose Garcia coming in to run and the halfback slot.
Up to the line of scrimmage now. Doug Deal, shotgun formation, back deep. Diaz going in motion, pitch back to him. He tries around the corner, is hit by one tackler, gets away from him, and loses still about 4 yards as he's finally brought down there by Alex Pitts, who was shooting the left tackle position. He was missed in there by one Johnson tackler. It tripped him up, and there's going to be a loss in there just about 5 yards when they finally mark it down. Let's call it a 3rd and 11. 8 minutes and 26 seconds to go in the first half of play. Up to the line of scrimmage, the Nerimoth Dragons. Again, the shotgun formation. Doug Deal back deep. Diaz on this side. On the far side, set is Osinski and Osaki. Snap back to Deal. He's going to pass. Shoots one out the right side. Complete to Ozaki. He's across the 40-35, and it looks like he was forced out of bounds just about the 35-yard line. He stepped out, kept running, but the referee ruled that he was stepped out, or had stepped out right there on the 35. It looks like it will be enough for a first down. It is a first down for the Nerimoth Dragons. They have the ball just about the 33-yard line where the officials finally spotted down. Nerimoth on the drive. 1st and 10. 8 minutes. 5 seconds to go in the first half of play. Field very muddy out there now. It's going to get worse as the afternoon progresses.
It was one of those big maroon or rather orange and white jerseys, and except for one man, he had a clear field into the end zone. It's going to be 1st and goal to go for Johnson.
Finally, we noticed that Lodge Carroll came up with that interception. The jersey is very dirty out there, and it's very hard to say. Some of the numbers, when they get mud on them, look like something else, like a 3 can look like an 8, and so on. It'll be a timeout on the field for Johnson. They have the ball. 1st and goal to go, just about the 2-yard line. 5 minutes, 25 seconds to go in this first half of play. Arnold, the quarterback. And there is a handoff in there. TD, it looked like Bill Pope, the fullback, was driving in there. Blue jerseys hanging over him, but they couldn't bring him down. He's into the end zone in pay dirt. That'll tie it up 6 and 6. We'll have the try for the extra point. So far this year, we've noticed that Arnold was holding, and Gerard would try for the extra point. Let's see if that's going to be the case this time. As they line up, Arnold, the quarterback, will be holding. Gerard will attempt. 6-6 the score in this game. Johnson with a chance to go out in front for the first time today. Ball is back, it's down, and it is low and blocked in there by a Nerimoth Dragon. It was low. Even if it had not been blocked, it would have been below the goalpost, I think. And the score remains 6-6. Well, Spear with a handoff straight ahead. Or actually, it was a crossbuck through the middle, we should say. Number 31, Tim Kosinski, and some fine running room in there, brought down by Bob Goodman. A gain of about 5 yards on the play. Let's call it 2nd and a 5, a short 5.
Tim Kosinski, the fullback for Nerimoth, Bill, is driving hard today. He's come up with some beautiful 4, 5, 6-yard runs right off that left tackle, and going to that Johnson line is tough running.
T formation again. Spear, the quarterback, barking the signals. Ozaki going in motion to the near side. A handoff in there this time to Carl Kaysen, but he's caught right at the line of scrimmage. He barrels ahead maybe a yard or 2. Let's see where they finally spot it down, see where his knees touch the ground. They're going to give him about 2 yards. Let's call it 3rd and 3. 4 minutes, 29 seconds to go in this first half of play from Falcon Field. The score all tied up, 6-6. Nerimoth with the ball. It's just about the 27-yard line. They have to go to the 30 for a first down. Spear, the quarterback, T formation, a 5-3-2-1 defense. Ozaki in motion, a handoff through the middle again. It looked like, again, to Kosinski. He tried the right guard position, but not much running room. Up the line of scrimmage, possibly a yard or a half a yard gain. Let's see where they finally put it down.
Looks like no gain on the play, Bill. The ball being spotted down about the 28-yard line. It'll be 4th and 2 for Nerimoth. They're going to be forced to kick. 3:57 left on the scoreboard clock to be played here in the first half of play. And Nerimoth would love to go back into that locker room at halftime with at least a tie in this ball game. That's what they've got right now.
Spear goes back to punt. Peters back deep to receive for Johnson. There's the ball back. This time he gets it off. It's a low kick. Hits on the 48 across the field. A nice roll in there for Nerimoth. Peters with the ball. He's surrounded. He tries to get away, but he's finally brought down in there. He picked the ball up about the 35 and danced around the 35 momentarily up to maybe the 36. Leading the tacklers in there was Tim Kosinski for one. Also Ozaki and D.